Generally, motorcycle racers' attitude towards life is a little different to most other people outside of any kind of professional sport. They tend not to like being told what to do on account of the people that are telling them what to do. There's probably 20,000 people that could do their job, but only one or two others that could do your job. Motorcycle racing gives me everything I want. It gives me a very good income, popularity, if you like. You get to mix in good circles, do everything you want, anytime you want. And a lot of people get jealous about it, if you like, but what they seem to forget is in one day you can give away everything back to motorcycle racing in the shape of your life.
One of Sheen's American counterparts is Stevie Baker, on his way to England for the race of the year at Mallory Park.
After a while, it gets to you a bit. Like when we go to Europe, I usually like to have about 2 days to get adjusted to the time and the jet lag and stuff before I have to race. Last night we drove from Quebec down to Toronto. Then I flew to Chicago and then to Europe. So driving, changing planes and everything, it really takes it out of you.
Hello, Mr. Baker. Can I get you a pillow?
Yes, please.
By far one of the most prestigious events in professional motorcycling is the Race of the Year at Mallory Park. Located in the center of England near Leicester, the race annually attracts the top competitors from around the world and thousands upon thousands of ardent race fans. But neither the fans nor the media expected this soft-spoken American to win a race which, like most road racing events, has been traditionally dominated by Europeans. Baker, however, hadn't traveled 6,000 miles to finish second. Traditionally riding in the States with number 32 on his leathers and helmet, Baker was given number 8 for his bike at Mallory Park.
Mallory Park looks, I think, probably simple to the spectator, but it's very difficult. There's just no room for mistakes. It's very tight, and the surface is not so good in a few spots. Going down the back straightaway, coming up is the S corners. It's a little slippery going in here sometimes. I don't know if there's a little rubber down there. A quick right and a left. You accelerate uphill through the left-hander. The front wheel becomes a little light. I'm in third gear here, and we changed all the way down to the bottom gear. Maximum braking going into here. Coming out of the hairpin, there's so much acceleration, you can't help have the front wheel in the air for the first 3 gears. And we get the front wheel on the ground just in time for Devil's Elbow. It's blind going into it, and it's off camber. Well, it still scares me a little bit. Onto the start-finish straight and accelerate up to about 150 miles an hour. Sit up, brake, change 2 gears down, and it's quite bumpy going into Gerard's. And then the patches to the left-hand side are just very fast. You're leaning so much, your knees almost touching the ground. I've touched a few times there. Coming out of Gerard's, you change back up to 150 miles an hour again.
How'd you get out here then?
The odds-on favorite at this particular race of the year is superstar Barry Sheen.
Hello, basically speaking. Hello. Think she knows me or something?
Other top-ranking competitors include 15-time world champion Giacomo Agostini, 7-time world champion Phil Reed, and British Superbike champion Mick Grant.
It looks a bit like it. Was in control of the blue thing as well.
Dave Taylor, stunt rider extraordinaire and holder of the world's record for the longest wheelie at 8.5 miles, warms up the crowd prior to the main event.
Family album. One from the family album. Hold on a minute. You ready?
You thought!
have a near record crowd here today at the race of the year. The paid attendance is 40,128, undoubtedly brought about by the expected confrontation between the top riders from both America and Europe, battling for the major prize money and the John Player Trophy. In his bid to win his third race of the year, Barry Sheene is up against Agostini and Reed, holders of 20 World Championships, and the fastest qualifier today, Steve Baker. The front row of the grid is made up of Phil Reed, number 2, Barry Ditchburn, number 3, on a Kawasaki, number 4, John Newbold on the Texaco Heron Suzuki, number 5 on the factory-supported Yamaha, Giacomo Agostini, then John Williams, number 6, Barry Sheene, number 7, on the Texaco Heron Suzuki, giving some last-minute advice to his father Franco. And on the pole position, the holder of the new lap record here at Mallory Park at 101.25 miles an hour on the Canadian-sponsored Yamaha, Steve Baker. That's 3 Suzuki, 3 Yamaha. It's Baker first riding number 8 into the lead. Baker from Agostini and Phil Reed. The only rider not to get away is number 36, Alan North. Through the Lake S's and up to Shaw's Corner, the 180-degree hairpin. It's Steve Baker, number 8, and Agostini and Phil Reed side by side. At the end of lap 1, Baker setting a searing pace, 1.5 seconds ahead of Reed, who's got past Agostini, accelerating out of the hairpin. Then Ballington, Ditchburn, Mick Grant, Pat Hennon, Gary Nixon, and Barry Sheene is in 10th place after a bloody awful start. Coming out of the hairpin, someone's crashed. It's Mick Patrick. He's up, he's walking away, and he seems to be okay. Now Baker's at the S's, 4 seconds ahead of Reed, and Sheene has caught up with the 2 Americans, Pat Hennon, number 40, and Gary Nixon, number 9. There's no stopping Baker. On the far side of the track, Phil Reed has broken down, and now Agostini has Mick Grant breathing down his neck, followed closely by Ditchburn, Cork Ballington, Pat Hennon. And now Sheene has got past Gary Nixon. Dave Potter is next, and behind him, John Newbold is leading the rest of the riders. Grant, Agostini, Ditchburn, Hennon, Ballington, and then Sheene all crowding up for Donnybrook for second place. Baker, riding as if he owns the track, is as calm as they come, even taking time to look behind him to check on the opposition. Coming from 10th place, Sheene has fought his way up to second, followed by Cork Ballington, Ditchburn and Agostini. Ballington's off! And Agostini and Ditchburn barely miss hitting him. Barry Sheene in second place, followed closely by Pat Hennon. That puts Americans in first and third, dominating a race that's never been won by Americans. It wasn't so long ago that the Europeans laughed at the way the Americans raced, but I don't see anyone laughing now. Baker laps a back marker at Gerrard's Bend, casually stuffing the bike into a 6-inch gap at 130 miles an hour. Through the Lake S's and up to the hairpin, with a 19-second lead over second place. Baker is not letting up, diving through on the inside line and lapping Roger Marshall, the current British national champion in the process. Sheene, now firmly in second place, has finally shaken off Hennon. Barry Sheene has managed to tie Baker's lap record of 101.25 miles an hour, and yet Baker is nowhere in sight. Sheene begins his last lap. Barry put on a tremendous performance today. His only mistake was underestimating Steve Baker. Baker, under absolutely no pressure, takes time to wave to the crowd. Baker out of the Shaw's corner hairpin for the last time. Pops 2 wheelies as he accelerates towards Devil's Elbow, down to take the checkered flag. Steve Baker from Bellingham, Washington, the first American to win the race of the year. Barry Sheen finishing in second place, and some 6 seconds behind Sheen is another American, Pat Hennon. What a day this has been for young American Steve Baker.
All right, guy. Good going.